Hello and welcome to the Claret and Blue podcast. This is our John's in Lille video. Let's just have a chat, shall we, and see what happens. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm in Lille, so all is going well so far. I'm enjoying myself.
In the right place, right country.
I'm in the right place.
Good.
About a 2-minute walk away from the stadium, so I can't get lost or anything like that, which is good. Came here obviously 2 years ago, and yeah, a part of me was quite happy that we were drawn against Lille. I don't know, not only because Celta Vigo looked like a bit of a mission to get to, even though it would have been cool to go there. Firstly, it's easy to get to it, but then also, I don't know, I quite like being back here. It's a nice town. The stadium's a nice stadium, and we've got very good memories from here. So yeah, happy to be back.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so we thought we'd jump on and do an episode that maybe at the start of the week we weren't so sure we'd do. It's late on Wednesday as we record this, and it might be going out Wednesday, but if not, it'll be very early Thursday, so game day. You've had the presser. John McGinn's back in training. John McGinn is there in Lille as well. Matty Cash is unavailable. Harvey Elliott trained as well. Like, it felt like there's a few different bits and pieces to talk about, and you know, we did our Claret and Brew episode this week as a bit of a preview, and that was Monday, so it kind of feels like that was a few days ago, right? I know it's only Wednesday, but we had the Villa social thing go out Tuesday as well. It now feels a bit like, okay, it's game time now. Let's kind of focus in a little bit, even though we've probably already touched on things a little bit. I was actually, when I was preparing the thumbnail for this, I was toying with what text to go with. I was like, in my head, I wanted to go with like something like the calm before the storm. I don't know why, but it's like, we are closer to the game now, so is that why? Like, does it feel like we're building up to something? Maybe I'm like that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We obviously didn't play at the weekend either, did we? So it's been a build-up for this one. And I don't know, just in general, this is now knockout football. We've waited, I feel like, a long time for this. We've obviously pretty much blitzed the league phase. The only team we failed to beat was, I was about to say, Deventer, Go Ahead Eagles, who, they had their night, and that's fair enough. Part of me, I don't want to lose a game, but looking back, that it didn't matter that we lost that game. Having seen that they have microwaves in their sort of club cabinet and all sorts, I'm like, well, you know what? You know, if Villa can be part of their small history, that sounds really
condescending.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't take it the wrong way. Maybe they will. But anyway, yeah, we're here now. Now it's knockout football, and yeah, in a week we could be in the quarterfinals, or our chances of lifting a trophy are dashed again for another year. So it's really important that we treat this game, like I said before, like the biggest game of the season. Because if we don't, I think we'll get knocked out, and we can't count on Villa Park next week. That's kind of my key, not message, because my message doesn't mean anything.
That sounds a bit sad, doesn't it, when you say it like that? Because of the form we've been on recently. 3 months ago, he said, of course, we've got a great chance at home.
Yeah. But that needs to change, and I do think that you can go one or two ways. Either we progress and we feel, we've got that feel-good factor about Villa Park again, and then you've got West Ham, of course, a couple of days later, which would be hopefully an opportunity for us. That's a difficult game, but I'm talking in the context of, Villa are through to the quarterfinals, big celebrations. We're back here in a few days. That's great. That's the feel good we need. If it goes the other way, if we're dumped out of European competition, it's going to be really hard to get up for that West Ham game. Me speaking anyway. So yeah, they are literally two different games, although it's kind of conjoined into one aggregate score. It also, for me, does more than ever, actually, covering a Villa knockout tie. This does feel like you are away, then you're at home. Sounds mad, but before it was the case of, well, if you can take it back to Villa Park with a draw, you could give me any result tomorrow night, and that's just, okay, that's the scoreline. It doesn't mean that we could win 2-0 and take it back to Villa Park. Whoever scores that first goal, that's, we're going to be all nervous if Lille get that first goal. So, yeah, tomorrow night's important, but I think more than anything, it's important to just have the opportunity to get back to some sort of form.
Yeah, I listened to some of your videos that you've done over there already today, the little walk and talks around the stadium. Yeah. I said this before, and it's a stupid thing, and certainly what I'm about to say next is definitely stupid, because the way our video looks, it's got the Europa League logos. The thumbnail I've done is Europa League. Just having a bit of a change of scenery does make a bit of a difference. I haven't thought about the Premier League since last Wednesday night, the defeat to Chelsea, FA Cup weekend, then Europa League. Obviously, we didn't take part at the weekend. You can compartmentalise it a little bit. Seeing McGinn back seeing Harvey Elliott train a little bit, it's like, oh, this all just feels a bit different. And I think that's of benefit to Villa. Now, all that'll be complete nonsense if we lose the game on Thursday night. But if we can kind of wipe the slate clean a little bit and have like this is the calm before the storm. That is how I feel about it. This is the beginning of something else. This is kind of the next phase of the season.
Yeah, precisely that. And we can't forget that earlier in the season, it was the Bologna game that got us back into some sort of form, at least initially. I wouldn't say we were, playing great football against Fulham or even Feyenoord after that, or even Burnley.
That would be 3 or 4 wins in a row, wouldn't it?
Exactly that. I remember walking around the...
I'll take 4 wins in a row now, wouldn't you?
Take 1 win in a row. I remember walking around the Coop and saying that, like, you can't stop Villa winning at the moment, and it had only been 7 days, but it won 3 games, and we know how that felt though back then, having not won in 6 and failed scoring 5. We were really low, and it doesn't feel that bad at the moment, but it feels similar in some sort of different way. So it's really important to get back into form. And John McGinn played such an important role in us getting back into that form. I think he scored against Bologna, scored against Fulham, scored against Feyenoord as well. So, yeah, his return is crucial. And interesting from Emery in tonight's presser that he said that he could start the game. And I thought that was a bit surprising. And I know they're just words, but I do believe him. I wouldn't be totally shocked if he just came straight into the 11. And I'm okay with that as long as he's ready to do so. I think that's important. I'd rather him be eased into... the games. I'd rather him, come off the bench for 20 minutes if needed against Lille, and then start against United for 60, should we say? Yeah. If that's possible, who knows? But yeah, an interesting kind of comment from Emery saying that he can start, like he's ready to start. He can come into the game after that as well. But him just being in the squad and being around the place is really important.
Just to expand on a point that we discussed at the start of the week, I think it was, or maybe the back end of last week, of Tielemans and McGinn's returns back and their form of previous injuries, right? So this narrative of, well, they might take 3 or 4 games to get up to speed. I had a look back at previous injuries and said, well, actually, when they come back, they're pretty good from the off because they're good players, right? And Villa maybe at that time were a good team as well. So maybe that has some bearing as well. And somebody replied to me back on social media to say what you didn't look into or what you didn't share was, well, how soon from injury did they return to training and then play? Like, were they eased back into it over the course of a few weeks? Now, again, how and when players are thrown back into being back on the grass and with the group and all that sort of stuff are the finer details that probably nobody's really aware of, to be perfectly honest. But I did look back retrospectively at Tielemans and McGinn's previous injuries, and when it was announced to the press of, oh, they're back in training, and it was the week that they played. So McGinn's first game back, the few days before in the presser, it was, oh, McGinn's back training this week, and then he played. Tielemans back in training this week, and he played. John McGinn this week, he's back in training, and now he's available to play already. So it's not a case of like, oh, he's back in training, but he'll need 2 weeks of training and then 3 games. Like when Villa say they're back, they're back. And we could be so back, John, if Villa win on Thursday night and Sunday and next Thursday and West Ham. Oh, it could be so sweet. Do I believe any of that? Definitely not. But yeah, having those players back, having someone like John McGinn back in the dressing room, in the fold, on the training pitch, to see him back, right? For fans, it's massive. And for the players as well. You spoke to Rodgers, didn't you, at the presser? What did he say about McGinn?
Yeah, one of my questions to Morgan was about what Villa...
Oh, Morgan, is it?
Missed. Oh, yeah. What have Villa missed from McGinn? And we know exactly what is missing when Villa don't have McGinn, but I wanted Rodgers to expand on that himself. What does he really think? And he started off by saying that we've missed his jokes, we've missed his sort of dressing room banter, and I like Rodgers because he's always smiling and all. You can feel like you can, not necessarily me, but other players probably quite easy to bounce off him, and you can tell there's camaraderie in the camp, which I like. And McGinn is obviously a key part of that. And people will be saying, "Well, that doesn't really matter. Get results." Well, you get results if you like your teammates. Tottenham are evidence of what can happen on in the country. So, yeah, McGinn coming back is important for firstly, off the pitch. Just having him back in the group is really important. But then on the pitch as well, Rodgers spoke about him being a big character, having energy, bringing energy to the team, and that he is our leader and leads by example. and also said that, or essentially admitted that Villa had struggled to replace what McGinn gives that team. And absolutely, I think we can all see it with our own eyes what John McGinn gives to the team, but also when he's not there, it's a gaping hole. And the amount of times that we've sort of had discussions about McGinn, and I was actually thinking, walking back to my hotel, which isn't a long walk, that it was a quick thought, but one that, like, I hope you're not doing a post match with Kendrick after Man United or something like that, and we're thinking, and you know, some of the questions are, McGinn coming back didn't really do anything, you know, or what, you know, that's a bit of a letdown or whatever. I don't want it to be judged on the next 2 games or something. Having McGinn back over the course of the next 2 months, we will be in a better position because of him being back than what we would have been otherwise, you know?
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that we've had a drop-off. And
I think there will be an immediate impact, by the way.
I hope so, yeah, but it was just, you know what I mean? Player comes back and it's like, actually, it doesn't, you know, we were bigging it up too much. Or we were just sort of looking for a reason why we were poor, but actually we were, you know, I don't want it to become that if results are, you know, aren't great in the next 2 weeks, should we say. But yeah, having him back is really important, and the players realise that. The camp, Emery too. He's a phenomenal leader for Villa and does it in a certain way. And yeah, I'm just desperate to see him lift the trophy in May, because I think you can already say he's probably a Villa legend. But to sort of rub shoulders with, you know, some of the best that the club's had, I think he has that opportunity, McGinn. And I really hope for his sake. I know the players, you know, you've got Mings, Watkins, Martinez, they're all desperate to win a trophy with Villa, and I hope that happens.
Yeah, that short walk back to the stadium, so it was a short thought, it was very Partridge. I'll give you that. Can I just bring a bit of insight into the mind of John Townley and from the conversations we had today about Morgan Rogers a little bit? You were, I don't know, either in France or in an airport or wherever, messaging me saying, I've just had a look through some training pictures, and like, not to alarm you, but I've not spotted Morgan Rogers in any of them yet. Like, what's going on here? I didn't reply, so another message straight, a few minutes after. Oh, it's okay, I think I've spotted him now. Like, panic station's over, don't worry. And I was like, okay, all right, well, are you sure? Yeah, let's do a podcast later, we'll talk about it. You then messaged me a few hours later saying, oh, Emery says Cash is out, by the way. And Rogers is definitely here because he's sat opposite me because he's in the presser. I was like, oh, okay, good. So forget the training pictures. He's there. All right, that's the main thing. Has Rogers done press duty before, by the way?
Yeah, in Leipzig. Yeah.
Good character.
Yeah, good character. He talks very well. And as I say, very interesting in general, very grounded, very polite. I mean, we did the documentary on him, or you did, and Matt did the documentary on him with some interviews from people who know him best, Hallis Hawks, and you know, people who have grown up with him. And yeah, absolutely a good ambassador for the club. But yeah, that scared me a little bit, because we had about 30 images come through, because we get the open training 15 minutes or so from the European games of the training session before the match. We had about 30 or 40 images come through, and you see almost every player there, apart from obviously Cash, who's also he is injured. Rogers is fine. I couldn't spot Morgan Rogers. I was thinking, we have no indication that there's a problem here, but there's no image. there was one image, and I think as I was sending you the voice note, there was one image of this sort of tall, strapping lad, like at the back going through a cone, and I was trying to think, like, I bet that's Morgan Rogers.
Is that his hairstyle?
Yeah, but obviously Alisson's got a similar hairstyle, but he had a bigger sort of frame, and I thought, I mean, yeah, that needs to be him. And then I, told that he was taking questions from the media, so I, putting 2 and 2 together, figured it out. He's fine.
Imagine if he was in the press going, "Oh yeah, I'm injured, by the way." Oh god. So McGinn's back. Cash isn't. That is a blow, right? That's makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. What does right back look like? Is that Bogard or Lindelof, do you think?
If it was up to me, I'd say Conser.
Okay.
And put Lindelof as centre back. Yeah, that's what I would do. I imagine Bogard's going to go there though, and
I'd have thought so.
It's not for me. I think Bogard's obviously a good player, and he's absolutely matured this season. But he's a holding midfielder, and I'm not sure at right back for me. I wouldn't have been against playing a bit more cautious in this game anyway. Of course, I would have started Cash if he was fit. But at least from in no game do you want to be missing your only real quality right back. but if I had to sort of pick one, I mean, no, it wouldn't be the first leg of Europa League round 16. The point I'm trying to make here is that I'd rather it be in a game that we're, happy to start with the opponent in, So if it is constantly Lindelof, Mings and Maatsen or, Dean, possibly, I don't know. I don't think, oh my lord, like we're in trouble here. If this was the home game,
but the game might be a bit.
Anyway. If this was the it's good analysis. If this was the home game and it was Bogart, pushing forward and trying to do the cash, cash box crasher. That's easy for me to say. Then, I think that would be much more of an issue. So, it's frustrating. The Man United game, let's hope is back for that. Emery didn't want to give much away, to be fair, in the press conference. It was, is McGinn back? Yes. Is Cash here or not? Not. So, not much from Emery today.
Okay.
With regards to injuries.
Let's answer a couple of mailbag questions quickfire. Maybe not Emery quickfire, though. I've noticed recently that our strongest mentality monsters are players who have actually won something. So Mings and McGinn have won the playoff final. Yeah. Yuri Tielemans, I'm not downplaying the playoff final, by the way.
No, but yeah.
Yuri Tielemans won the FA Cup and Martinez has won the World Cup. You know what I mean? Playoff final is not those two. Do you think this is because mentality leads to success or because success brings self-belief and confidence? That's from Leandro Bacuna's Champions League career. Good classic reference there from 10 years ago. Mentality monsters. They are the only trophy winners across the team, I think.
Bacuna's going to the World Cup. Don't know if you know that.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I mean, I just think you need to do it with the club that you're like. Martinez winning the World Cup is brilliant for us because it helps having winners in your team. Same for Tielemans. But I think it's another thing as well, just doing it for the club that you're at, whether that's different expectations.
No.
Do you not?
No, I actually think there's something in the one-offness of it. Like Yuri Tielemans winning one FA Cup. Does that have that much of a bearing? Like this isn't. You've got a player like for example, that has won 10 trophies. Yeah, he brings a lot of.
That's kind of my point. Of I think it helps because they have experience of doing it. There's nothing like winning a trophy. You have to get over the line. However, I don't think it counts for that much in this group of players and at this club. Had Tielemans, it's not a great example because Leicester might be going to League One, but if you have a player that wins a trophy with a club and then stays with that club for many more years, that is much more beneficial, I think, in this sense.
Because we know that this group's done it in this stadium and these fans, we've experienced
that. Yeah. So I don't think it counts for that much, but it's certainly something you'd rather have than not. It would be like let's buy 6 players in the summer who've all won trophies. That's all well and good, but do they fit in? There's much more to it. So, I think it helps, but it's not the be all and end all. Villa had Tielemans and Martinez in the Conference League, didn't they? And they didn't win that. Of course, Martinez missed the first leg, but he was there for the second one, and we lost 2-0. So, sort of different contexts, but equally, like it's here and it's now. I think you grow as a group. You grow under the manager that you're playing under. You improve your, be it your home form or whatever it may be. And Villa, I think, have done many things. Now the next thing for them, as a group, forget who's won what and when it was. Now is the time for them to do it together. I think that's the crucial thing now.
I think you can also make an argument for the other way. And I've only got 2 examples here, and one of them hasn't won a trophy yet, so bear with me. But teams that have got a certain amount of distance as a group who can then use that as fuel to actually get over the line. So like Newcastle United getting to the League Cup final and losing, but then coming back a year or 2 later and winning it.
And doing it differently as well, staying in a different hotel. And
learning from, we got close, but we didn't get over the line. So Villa, Conference League semi-final. Semi-final?
Yeah, Champions League quarter-final.
Champions League quarter-final, FA Cup semi-final. Big moments that didn't quite get there. You've got to use that as a positive somehow. Yeah. And England as well, who, haven't won anything, but the rise, if you want to call it that, of Gareth Southgate, right, to kind of get over that penalty shootout, to get to as far as a quarter or semi-final and kind of build progress as a unit. You can learn some things from that as well. I've really made a ham-fisted point of that, and we're treating this like it's live. So I'm not going to edit the last minute of nonsense, but you get the point, I think. A couple of questions. One from Kiddie Tim, Kidderminster Tim, I presume, not a child. Will Elliott play on Thursday? Short and sweet. He's back in training. He's had an injury, hasn't he, I think?
Yeah. He had an injury. That was when was the injury now? It's 3 weeks or so ago. Because that was when...
We spoke about, he could play in Europe, right?
Yeah.
But he's injured at the moment.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the good news of Elliott can play freely in the Europa League without impacting, the buy trigger. But he's injured. But it was always a thing if he should be back for the first leg of the European round of 16. And he is. So whether he plays or not, let's see.
In the squad, surely.
Yeah, but my only thing with this is that Emery... I just don't think Emery fancies him that much. And
no, he doesn't. But as a body and as an option,
you've
got to use him at some point.
And that's why we did a podcast about it, because it's big news, and it is our bench will look stronger because of it. But when we say he's going to play, I presume that means start and get however many minutes. I'm not totally sure. Again, the only thing that I would say is that we're not a million miles away now from the end of the season, and if Elliott, for example, does play. Or starts even the second leg against Lille and we win, well, the second game after that game would be the away quarter-final. So it's not as if he's missing 6 games, comes in 6 games as he was previously. Or
you can keep a bit of a rhythm going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He might be playing more than half of the squad, possibly, in terms of some sort of continuous pattern. So I think we're at the point now with Elliott where if he does impress against Lille, if he plays, then all of a sudden it's okay, maybe you can play against Roma if you fitted well. You might not get Premier League minutes, but the semi-final then creeps up after the quarter-final, and all of a sudden you're nearly in May and you've got a final to look forward to.
And if you are doing well, by the way, and he's still got a wiggle room of 3 or 4 Premier League matches, you could just drop him into one of them as well, right, and keep that run going a bit longer.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens in terms of the league. Because, as we explained before, it's a difficult clause to explain, and there's a lot of intricacies to it. But European, he can play freely in those games. So, yeah, let's hope that he can play a part against Lille as long as he does it well and we win.
Final question here from a Villa fan in Kazakhstan. Here's my question.
Wow. Hold on. Wow. Villa fan in Kazakhstan. Well, we need.
That's one of the few Villa fans in Kazakhstan anyway, but probably the only one that listens to Claret and Blue, right?
I hope it's not just it's not actually true. But if a Villa fan in Kazakhstan, can you give us your name and tell us? Well, you didn't ask to give us your name, but tell us how that's come about, because that's very interesting. I'd love to know, because Villa have, to my memory, never played in Kazakhstan. I don't know where that link would come from, but please let us know. That's interesting.
Do you want to know what name he's given in the mailbag?
Gary.
Daniel Marland's shiny head.
Oh, okay.
Here's my question. Imagine Harvey Elliott plays all games for Villa in the Europa League and carries the team to win it, but leaves in the summer. Would you consider him a Villa legend after that? I feel like we might have answered this before, or something similar.
When he says carry Villa to winning the trophy, I think you would have to say that.
If he scores the winner in every round.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's not single-handedly, but near as damn it.
Plays 6 games for the club, scores in every round of the Europa League, in the final.
And we don't buy him.
Well, I mean, absolute madness. Can you go as far as legend? You'd probably... I don't know.
Yeah, what? I think there's different ways to constitute
legend in the Europa League.
But you're winning, if you're playing a major part, literally winning it, it wouldn't happen. But I think it's more if he scored the winner in the final, I don't know, backstick job 85th minute and Leon can't clear the ball and Elliott's just there and he just thinks, and wins the game. I think that's more of a, is he a legend?
I don't know if it's legend.
So it would just be a hero because you've done the moment. Is Brennan Johnson a Spurs legend? Surely not.
Exactly. Yeah. Agreed.
Surely not.
Goes down in folklore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hero. Yeah, hero.
Yeah. Icon, maybe.
I think icon is the middle ground between hero and legend. Yeah, okay. I think so. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fan favourite? Oh, we're going around in circles here.
That's the one beneath it.
Just quickly from Matt, who says, I love the round table, great idea and execution. This is a nice way for me to plug that without just saying myself. I thought it was good. There were quite a few comments on the video itself on YouTube and on Spotify, actually, of people saying they enjoyed the concept. Nice to see the Villa social back as a kind of format. Obviously different to what it was before. It was four or five of us in the studio. This was 7 of us on a virtual call like this, but I spent the time to edit it and make it kind of tidy and neat, and it wasn't like chaos of people talking over each other and stuff, and lots of different opinions on lots of different subjects. John, you listened on the Eurostar, was it? Did you enjoy it?
I listened to the unedited version. And
not quite as good, but the edit made it better, I think.
It's an idea that I haven't listened to the edit to first, so I don't know, but it was fine, unedited. It's an idea that we sort of floated around for a while, doing essentially like 8 people, Villa fans, have your say, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely something we want to do more of as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to try and do another one in the international break. So a few people who weren't on that could be on the next one as well. So yeah, a nice idea, executed pretty well, I thought. Just to wrap up then, John, do you feel any differently now about this game? Now that it's a little bit closer than it was on Monday, is your score prediction different? Being there, does it feel different? Are you now all of a sudden on the Villa hype train? You know what? We might just win this game.
To be honest, it was more after digging into Lille's form and different bits and bobs. Do I feel a little bit more comfortable? Shall I say? Lille have only won the first leg in just one. Lille have won the first leg, in just one of their last 7 major knockout ties. So they don't often win the first leg, as I've
how many of those are at home?
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know, but I thought I'd say it anyway. And there was another stat I wanted to. I can't remember, but the one that kind of, I think I mentioned this on the video that we did before about how Lille don't score many goals at home. Just stretching that out, they've only scored more than once in 2 of the last 19 games, home or away in all competitions. So it's not a free scoring team at all. They are struggling to score goals, but Giroud, who is back, fit and available after overcoming illness, does like score against Aston Villa. He's scored against Villa more than any other team. So that's the problem. Even at 39.
Really? In his career, full stop?
10 goals, 10 games.
Wow.
So, yeah, and he's scored in each of his last 8 as well. So,
you just know what's happening.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, I think 2020 was the last goal he scored against Villa. That's like.
When's the last time he played against us? 2020.
He's 39, but still like Giroud. Oh. So that's a problem. But do I feel confident? Mildly, but again, I don't really know how to feel about it because. Before with Villa, if you're going away, it's like, if we can nick a win or if we can keep it as a draw, fantastic result. Like we're in a pole position there. Again, I think we could win 2-0 or win 4-2 or essentially have a 2-goal margin. And then go to Villa Park. If they score the first goal in the 78th minute, Lille, like I'm bricking it. So it's not. I don't think it will be done unless we win maybe by 3 or something. And I don't think that'll happen. So, yeah, let's just see how we go. I think more than anything else, I just want to see us play well. Obviously not, lose. That goes without saying. But I want to see us have a bit of confidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you more confident?
I can't remember what I said on Monday. You asked me for a prediction for the Facebook page, and I put 1-0 Lille. I think in my head, I think it'll be a draw. And I was kind of just playing the card.
I think this is the most 1-1.
Yeah, and I said I'd take a draw, so I still kind of feel the same, but I'm not there. But just seeing little bits of people there, yourself there, getting closer to the game, seeing McGinn back, I'm starting to go, you know what? We might win this 2-1.
They've drawn us back in.
Yeah, just when I think I'm getting out, they pull me back in. No, I think draw still, and I'd take that on the off chance that we suddenly turn good at Villa Park again, and we start to build up our home form next Thursday as well. Right, okay, John, I will let you get off to bed and go and do some work or whatever you're up to on this fine French evening. We will be back tomorrow evening with the post-match show, myself and Kendrick. It's a 5:45 p.m. kickoff in the UK, so expect us around 7ish, 7:30, something like that. 5 or 10 minutes after the full-time whistle, basically. Right, John, what have you got there? Why are you just rustling before I try to wrap up? Baguette. How stereotypical.
Yeah.
Enjoy that, John. Thank you very much for watching along or listening to this episode of the Claret Blue podcast, and we'll see you Thursday night for the post-match. See you later.